And yes, I don't know if you have noticed, but I cut my hair because I'm having something right here that is in that I think is kind of allergic or something like that, that I have to cut off my curly hair. So shit happens and I have to deal with that. Hello guys, my name is Alex Rodriguez and welcome back to yet another video. Today we're gonna be talking about what is the best job that you can get in Cuba and why maybe a taxi driver can be earning more money than a doctor. I'm gonna give you my opinion besides the other jobs position that I think are gonna be even better than being a doctor in Cuba. In my opinion, guys, is because in Cuba, you know that everything goes around the tourism. Cuba is an island, and what I think is that the government has been implementing all the investments, all the things for the tourism industry. That's why the taxi drivers, most of them used to be working in the tourism industry before the COVID. That's why they made a lot of money. Even though right now the government has implemented or has increased the salaries in Cuba for everyone, the doctors, in my opinion, they still have a low salary compared to the taxi drivers who are on the street making money, you know what I mean? But let's dive into what I call the best job that you can get in Cuba, even though it's going to be complicated for so many people. Why? Because you need some specific skills that I'm going to be sharing with you right now. What I'm talking about, guys, is being a tour guide. You know, if you've been following me for a while, I was a tour guide right here in Cuba before the pandemic, and since then I've been working in some companies in the same industry. Pay attention, guys. I'm not saying that the tourism industry is the best job in general. It's not the same being, let's say, a director marketing or marketing director of some tourism company than being a tour guide. Why? Because besides the salary that you can get as a tour guide, which is going to be probably pretty low as well, the tips. I mean, as a tourist, you have, let's say, kind of a culture of be tipping everywhere you go. That's why many people ask me when I used to be working as a tour guide, hey Alex, how much should I tip in Cuba? Because I know that when you visit whatever place that you're visiting, you are always asking how much you should be tipping. Even more in Cuba, because we all know that Cuba is passing for a crisis and has been in crisis for so many years, so you wanted to help the Cuban people when you visited Cuba. Alright, so this is one of the main reasons why so many people want to be working as a tour guide in Cuba. There are some companies, private companies, they've been working illegally right here in Cuba, and they hire some tour guides. Most of them are not like official tour guides because, you know, there are young people who wants to be sharing the local way, and that's awesome, but it's not legal, sadly. Now, if you want to be working in the tour as a tour guide, you gotta be studying tourism in the university. Then you gotta be passing what we call here servicio social. Social services is kind of the way that you have to pay back the government all the study that you've been studying in the past, and then you can start working in the company that the government set you up. I mean, it's not like, hey, I want to be working with the company, I want to be a tour guide. I think you gotta be first, I don't know, this and then that and then that and then a tour guide, because everyone wants to be facing the client. Because if you are a good salesperson, if you are, let's say, kind, if you know culture, if you know general history about Cuba, whatever, if you are in general a good tour guide, you can be earning a lot of money. When I mean a lot of money in Cuba, guys, remember that I'm not saying that you're gonna get rich, but you can be earning more than $500 per month in Cuba, and that's a lot of money. That's a tremendous salary, but in this case it's not going to be salary, it's going to be a tipping that you're going to be receiving besides the salary. It's exactly the same thing with the taxi drivers. I mean, the taxi drivers, they don't have like this much of tipping. Nobody tipped the taxi drivers, at least in Cuba. But just in case you get, let's say, a taxi driver who's going to be taking you to all the places that during the all days that you're going to be spending here in Havana, for example, you're going to be tipping them, and they're going to be making more money than a doctor, because sadly, the doctors in Cuba, they have a salary, let's say right now 5,000 pesos, which are, I think, $208, something like that. But it's not that much when you have to have a good living in Cuba, or you want to live. That's it. I mean, survive, okay? Because the prices, as you have seen, guys, in some of my videos, are insane at this point. This is one of the reasons I think that why people, or why the taxi driver or a tour guide is making good money more money than a doctor. But it's not only that. Let's compare to the jobs that you can get in Cuba in terms of working for the government companies and working for the private companies. Let's say that you are a lawyer, you are an architect, you're a doctor, you're an engineer, and you work for the government. You're going to be receiving, let's say, 5, 6, even 10,000 Cuban pesos per month, which are more or less 300, 400, more or less, you know what I mean? Now, if you have the same skills and you work for the private sector, you're gonna be earning a lot more because it's motivational. You are gonna be earning some percent besides their salary they're gonna be receiving. And the private sector, guys, let's say that it's not about the degree that you already have, it's more about skills that you can have: marketing, designing, social media, programming, or coding. I mean, there's so many skills that you need to have. Even photography, you know what I love photography. It's one of the high income skills that you can get at this point in Cuba. There are so many companies that are requiring or claiming these services. So if you work as a photographer for a private company, you're gonna be earning even more money than a doctor for sure. And for some of you, it's gonna be like, oh my god, that's pretty sad. But for others, it's gonna be like, I knew that. But this is the life in Cuba, guys, and I think this video is gonna be helping you to understand even more how Cuba works, because you know that in this channel we're always talking about the local life in Cuba and talk to you guys in terms of how Cuba is. I mean, I'm gonna try to give you exactly the same information, not only in Cuba, but in other places or other countries that I'm gonna be visiting. I'm gonna be explaining you how that place is, showing you the local life, making more vlogs, and expanding this content for you guys. I hope this video has been helpful for you in terms of, let's say, knowledge, because I know that you might be wondering about how is this possible? Why a taxi driver can be earning more money than a doctor or a lawyer or professionals? I mean, right now at this point, guys, I think that having skills is even more important than working for some companies for the government, you know? So that's it for today's videos. My name is Alex Rodriguez, just in case you're new here, and I will really appreciate it if you smash the like button, which is one of the best ways that you can help me. And guys, pay attention. YouTube has announced me, hey Alex, you can have members right now on the channel. If you think that this video or this content in general deserve being a member, please go and be a member of this channel. Or if you don't want to be a member right here on YouTube, you can go to buymeacoffee.com, and right there is one of the best ways that you can support the channel so I can keep creating this free content for you guys. So talk to you in the next video. Bye bye, ciao, pesca la vuelta picadillo. And for those who follow me on Instagram, I'm okay, guys. What I mean is that yesterday, actually last night, I was feeling like having fever, my body wasn't doing well, and I thought that I had COVID or something like that. So I went to check my antigen, and it was negative. So hopefully I'm okay. Nothing happened. I think that maybe I'm getting some kind of dengue or something like that. But don't worry, I'm gonna be fine. Talk to you guys in the next video. Love you all, and it was great having you here.